Hello and welcome to this Quizlet tutorial. Quizlet is a web-based flashcard and games website where users can create their own flashcards or use ones that others have already created. It is free to use, however, users can opt to pay an additional $15 to upgrade to Quizlet Plus. Today we're going to be focusing on the free version of Quizlet to enhance student learning in the second language classroom. Nakata cited several studies that demonstrate that using flashcards is an effective and efficient means to second language acquisition. From the home page, I'm going to select Find Flashcards. From here, on the left, you will see Browse by Category. We're going to select Languages and Vocabulary. As you can see, Quizlet has an extensive list to choose from. For today's presentation, I'll select Spanish. This brings us to a page that displays several of the flashcards that users have created. I'm going to scroll down and select Spanish colors. Now, once your students access the flashcard set that they would like to study, they will be presented with the flashcards. To the bottom right-hand corner, they will see just how many cards are in this particular set. And as we can see from here, there are 13. Now, there are options for the flashcards. Students can elect to enable audio, as opposed to when they just go through and there is no audio, they can select the audio.
Verde, green. Negro, black.
This will allow them to hear the Spanish pronunciation and the English pronunciation of the words that are presented on the card. Students also will have the option to shuffle the terms. This will reorder them so that now, if in case they've memorized the order of the flashcards, they will now have to go through and do them in a different order. Students will also have the option to select full screen. This is perfect for students who may have issues with seeing. Down below, we see 5 additional activities that students can select from. In the study portion, we have Speller, Learn, and Test. And in the games, we have Scatter and Space Race. We're going to select Speller. In this particular activity, students will hear the audio of the Spanish word and will be asked to spell the word that they hear.
Plateado.
As we can see, to the right, we see the English word. In case we're unsure of the word we hear, students can opt to replay the audio. If correct, a green box will appear. Let's get this next one wrong.
Verde, V-E-R-D-E. Verde.
As you can see, the box was red and it went through and spelled the Spanish word using the Spanish letter sounds, and then provides the student with another opportunity. Also, for this particular activity, students can select how fast or how slow the words are spoken. This is great for your advanced and for your beginners.
Azul.
Moving on to Learn. Just as in Speller, students will receive instant feedback on whether they're correct or incorrect. However, unlike in Speller, there is no audio feature for this. All students will see is the English word, and they must then type the Spanish and click on the answer. If they're correct, they will see that. As you can see here to the right, there's a give up button. Students are then provided with the correct answer and then asked to type in the correct answer. Let's get this one wrong. Here we see what was typed in, what we typed in, and what the actual correct answer is. Moving on to the games. In scatter, students must drag the Spanish or English word over its English or Spanish counterpart. If the selection is correct, if their combination is correct, the word will disappear off the screen. If it is not, then it will not disappear off the screen. As you can see here, the object is to make all the words disappear. We have green, which is verde, and as you can see, that match was correct. It was red, it was green, and it disappeared off the screen. Now let's make an incorrect match. Black and blanco. And as you can see, the word moves away from that word and does not disappear, therefore indicating that our match is incorrect. Students also have a second option for a game. Space Race, the students must type in the Spanish word as the English word is moving across the screen. Let's get this one incorrect and see what happens. As you can see, a second word appears on the screen. I got the second word correct, but the first word continued off the screen. Now we see that it presents us with the correct spelling of the word and provides us again with an opportunity to practice spelling the correct word. So far, Speller Learn, Scatter, and Speed Race have all provided your students with a self-paced way of going about acquiring new vocabulary. Students are provided with instant feedback, telling them if they got it correct or incorrect, and if it is incorrect, providing them with another opportunity to practice that word. Once they feel confident in their completion of those 4 activities, we can now move on to the test portion. Here we see we have multiple means of assessing students' knowledge. We have written questions, multiple choice, and true and false. Let's go through and select And as you can see, students can complete this in any order that they like. I'm going to intentionally get some of these wrong so that we can see what the feedback is. Once scrolling down, we can click on Check Answers. You can also see that we have the option to print the test, or we can also regenerate the test. Just as before, students get that instant feedback. However, it is on a new screen, but they get to see what they typed and what the actual correct answer is. What's incorrect is in red, and what's correct is in green. It also provides the score to the right of the screen. As we scroll down, we can see the different means of instant feedback. And when we get to the bottom, we can see that students have the option to generate a new test. Although the same material is being tested, the order is different, thereby allowing students to interact with the material again in a different way. As you can see, Quizlet is definitely a powerful tool for learning another language. One of the features that's definitely beneficial, as Clark and Mayer points out, that it's important that e-learning material presents the material on the same screen. And as we saw with the feedback, students are given that feedback on the same screen. And if they're not, as in the case of the test, the students will still see how they answered, what their response was, and what the correct response was, if it was incorrect, and if it was correct, it will also illustrate that. Again, Quizlet is a great tool for second language learning.